We're talking theoretical heads up prop or odds, Mr. Keating, best friend Keating, I should say.
Oh, well, I can't weigh in on that one. Maybe we should switch the subject. I don't know that
Yeah,
one.
it's all good, Mr. Keating. How are you?
Pretty good. Just got to Vegas.
Alan, I gotta know this because I wrote about it to Doug, and I know you're a nice dude, so you might even if you felt a different way, you wouldn't say. Did you feel any type of way when Peter was pump faking? Because he did it about 5 times. I don't even know if you were looking, but he pump faked you and moved those chips and a couple times. I know you're not going to reveal your hand. You've played a lot of poker, but you could get reactions out of that. I was just curious if you felt any way about that.
No, I didn't even realize it until I watched the clip afterwards that he even did any of that. So it wasn't even in the front of my mind. Um, I guess like everyone told me, that was maybe the first time that he didn't have the nuts. So um, I can understand why he might be frustrated.
That was a hell of a $1 million game. You did well.
What did you guys think? Was it entertaining?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I
I
thought it was
told
great.
Feldman I think it was the best, most entertaining streams I've seen, and we've become numb to seeing these. We've seen so many, but I think the bar was raised. It was insane fucking action every hand. That was crazy.
Have you played with Peter before, Keaton?
Never, never. But we were flying back to Vegas at the same time, and so he said, "Why don't you come on my plane?" To be fair, he doesn't speak English, so someone else said it. But so we rode back together, had a cool convo through a translator. Seems like a really nice guy. Um, he probably didn't deserve any of the hate that he got, but yeah, I think he got on a really great run and good for him.
What'd you think of the mask man? We were waiting for him to pull off the mask, but yeah, that never happened.
Well, that's one of those things that like there's a big gap between like there's different subsects of people that are watching this. There's people that are like integrated into the high stakes community, and then there's people that are like well known pros that aren't, and then there's people that are consuming a lot of the poker media, and like each of these groups have different perspectives of like who they want to see or who's valuable or what's interesting. The gentleman with the mask is like a well-known guy that is an absolute legend. Like he's incredibly valuable to any game because he brings the heat. So
So it was a pro, not actually a European businessman.
I'm not going to talk about it, but he's a known
Fair
guy,
enough.
and it was a unique spot for me. I didn't really have any hands on as far as like who's playing or what the lineup was. So I just kind of went in dark, and there was a couple of people I didn't know, like Peter and Rahul. Um, I just had to adjust on the fly, I guess.
Hey, Alan, big fan. I had a question about your demeanor between the hand with Texas Mike when you beat him versus the hand with Raul. That you almost seemed like apologetic when you felted Mike, whereas Raul, you literally celebrated at the table.
Uh, I almost never celebrate. I mean, I, I don't think it's a thing. It's just that with Texas Mike, I loved how he played. I think he's an absolute warrior. Like I have massive respect for him. I'm like really excited that there's someone else out there that's like got this kind of like animal at the core that's gonna meet me in you know in games and challenge me, beat me, I beat them. It's not an ego thing. I really want to battle, and he's a battler. So like I'm glad he's there, and I'm sad when he loses. Because I think he handles himself well. He's respectful. He's a good dude. So he was already down before that hand, and ideally, I would have liked to see him run it twice and we chop. If I had lost, I would have been like, I mean, the gates would have been open. I could have been out, could have gone from up 2 million to down five. So like I'm not mad that I won, but I'm never gonna celebrate because like I understand the other side of it, and I appreciate him. But with Raul, I got Rahul. I had met him before, and he was three betting me a ton, and it felt like he was like trying to make a name on me, you know, make some re raises and um, make some aggressive plays. And he just had position on me at all times. So it was like I could either play into his game or like sink back in and counterpunch him. So I just tried to counterpunch for like a haymaker and knock him out. And I got my chance, and he tanked for like 7 minutes. So I was just like a little, he deserves all the time he can. It's a lot of money, but at that point, like, I think it's reasonable for me to like stand up and, you know, express myself in some ways.
What's up, Steph?
Um, Alan, you are legit my favorite poker player to watch. Every time you're on HCL, I tune in. That's like an indicator. I will be watching if you're on. So first, I wanted to say that. Number two, you are amazing in that even when you're beat, you always tell the people playing with you, like, hey, good hand. And I really respect that. But going back to the Rahul hand, had it not been you, I don't know that you would have been called. Like 10-9 suited against 8-7, he had two pair. There was no way anybody would have thought you had that, but he called it out. And I thought, oh crap, oh crap. And he called you. It was one of the best hands I've ever seen on streaming poker. So a lot of respect and thank you. You made that show.
Wow, that was so nice of you to say. Yeah, that was a big moment. Um, there was a lot that went into that. It's not normal for me to want to play patient. I just kind of had to. Um, and I got lucky for it to kind of play out in a way that worked for me. I mean, the seven made his two pair and made my straight. Like, there's no genius there, but um, I did do more thinking than normal in the hand because of how he was re-raising me. I wanted to win against him more than I would of other people. Um, so when he bet the turn, for example, I said to myself, like, okay, when he bet the flop, he has coordination. He has like a serious interest in this hand. He was trying to make a bigger pot, right? And not just like see bet, take it down. And when he bet the turn, I felt like if I called fast, he would understand that I was on a draw. So I kind of called slow, and tried to signal that I was trying to make a decision about like, is my hand good or not, such that like if I hit the hand on the river, then it would look like I was turning a hand into a bluff. So I'm probably not focusing on a lot of hands that I play, but that one I was laser focused on.
Go ahead, Bob.
Mr. Keating, hello. Great performance yesterday. Now, you guys were playing 5-1 with the big blind Annie and with the straddles on all the way up to 8K. What would possess you guys to do 25K red or black?
Um, at that point, like I look at the other people that are down, and I have like a bigger appetite for action than the game, like than I should in the game, and I look at another person in the game that wants to gamble more than the game allows. Like if they really put their action in, they'd make a lot of big mistakes. And if they're a friend of mine, I try to say, hey, let's flip for 25, and it's a way of kind of distracting ourselves so that we both don't make dumb mistakes. And it's kind of like a way of like helping a friend out. So when Tomas was down, I was like, hey, let's flip. Like I'm trying to cool him out from being tilted so he doesn't get knocked out.
That's pretty sick. That's awesome. Appreciate all the action that you give in the poker industry, brother.
Go ahead, Snoop.
Yeah, hey, best friend Keating. Do you still study, or do you study at all? And what's the longest session you've ever played without a break?
Last time I studied was I was maybe 17 or 18. I was like reading 2+2. Since then, nothing. No solver, no combos. I don't even have friends that I talk strategy with. Um, I don't know. I'm on an island. What was the other part of the question, brother?
What's your longest session you've ever played without like a meaningful break?
When I was 20, I was in Canada before they let me gamble in the U.S. and I was probably 20, and I played for. I left Michigan State on a Friday afternoon. I came back on a Sunday night, and I didn't sleep because I couldn't afford the hotel room. I stayed until I couldn't see anymore. And my buddy and I, we took turns driving with the windows down, to not crash.
That's insane. I mean, you don't have to answer this, but I'm sure people are interested. Can you say what the biggest stakes you've ever played, even if it's once?
I think I played a 5K, 10K with a 25K on the button.
Oh my God.
So your open's 100.
That's big. That is
Yeah, I
big.
thought $1 million game was big. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I think we're numb to figures, Bobby, but that's fucking that's pretty fucking massive.
Yeah, when you're opening to a Midwest house, yeah, and when you get 3-bet, you're buying a decent sized Vegas house. My goodness, what do you got, Wolf?
Yeah, quick question. So, like, kind of early in the week, Peter had won and then kind of left early, and it kind of affected the game. And then it kind of happened again the second week, or later in the week. Do you think that's gonna like affect him ever being like invited to games again, or like because I don't know, people kind of loosely saying it's a hit and run. I mean, would you consider what he did a hit and run this week?
No,
Okay.
I don't think he was interested in playing this second day. I think he did it as a favor. I think he communicated when he wanted to leave, and you know, even if someone's son runs, like they don't owe the money back that they won. You can't take away someone's like joy from being lucky because you're unlucky.
Yeah, I think it was just a little
Um,
disappointing in comparison to last year, how you guys made the game go so long, and that kind of with him winning all the money and then dipping, it kind of made the game not go as long as like last year. So I think that was the only disappointing part, but still, it was still great and awesome.
yeah, I think that Hustler will probably restructure how they approach the $1 million game. Um, right now, it's kind of like a hybrid where a lot of people think they can have seats or are valuable to the game, but I think that if you really want to have the best games out there and people firing, you gotta be careful about how create the games.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I
It's,
thought
it's
was
all
great
very
too.
challenging.
Yeah, to end the game, you hit that queen on the river and got that massive overbet called, and then he dipped. Like, yeah, that was just like, yeah, that was just to finally get that last bet out of him was amazing. Just I'm like, he just got there.
What's scary about that is it's like, okay, yeah, I hit the queen, and it was the offsuit queen. There were two flush draws. I hit one of two cards, and they were like amazing, right? And what was like not even good feeling about that is like I was at a point in my night where like I knew I was going to bet 600K on the river no matter what, and you know just to see if he could, and he proved that he could. So without hitting that card, like I'm going off. So I got saved. That's all.
Nice, good shit.
Let's see the lineup for the Max Payne Monday. I'm pretty excited. It's a looks like a fun game. You play with Neymar before at all, or is this your first time?
Yeah, I know I'm pretty good. We've been friends for a bit. Um, we talked about doing this for the last couple of years. Um, we got some mutual friends coming together. Pedro, which I think people saw maybe once or twice. He's a really great dude. Um, he's working with me to bring it all together, and he's brought Jimmy Butler and all these other people to this situation. So, like, I had a conversation with Feldman. I really want him to, keep growing his brand, his business, and the idea is to create annual events that you build a lot of anticipation for. The $1 million game has been branded and kind of achieved that in people's minds where they're looking forward to it. But I think there's space for a couple other events, and when you have guys like these that are coming on, my emphasis to him is like, let's do interviews with each of these players. 15-minute Zooms, and put them out there and really kind of build up who are these people. Like, does Jimmy Butler play? Every week, is he new to it? What does he think of it? Who's his favorite player? Like, you know, start building a story, start building more to this, so that people are excited for it, looking forward to it, and we can really blow it up. So I'm trying to help bring it all together. I think it's going to be really good, to be honest with you. I don't think it has a chance to miss.
Yeah, last year did seem like it had like more of a line. I guess when you put it that way. But yeah, what's up, Turbo?
Yeah, Alan, I just saw that Poker Stars dropped another episode of the big game. Kind of switching gears from talking about the $1 million cash game. How exciting was it? Like fun to play that format again. Finally getting that back because I love that show.
Super cool. I love edited poker. I criticize edited poker, between us and the 86 people listening, because you kind of hide the fun part of it. I like to make like quiet clips and, joke around with people. And, I felt like edited poker hid who was actually good for the game and fun to be around, and condensed it to like an inorganic production. But I think Game of Gold was amazing. I think this last show, Loose Cannon, is actually really fun. And I think Hustle's bringing that together with some of the interviews and stuff. But there's still more work to be done. But I like being on the show. It's just I committed to it, and I think I played a game that was ginormous before then, and I was on almost no sleep, and I just played like the most horrendous poker ever. And I wish I don't want to make it about me. Like, there's other really cool people there that deserve more attention than me. And I felt like if I played too many hands and took away from, their attention, and I kind of regret that. So I don't know if that comes across, but I wish other people got more attention.
Yeah, I totally get that, Alan. But I think you're great for the show. Like, and I think they do a great job because like it is condensed and edited. But like, what do they play? 150 hands total, and so it's like 30 hands per episode per 45 minutes. So I think it shows like personalities at the table, and I'm glad to see it back. Loved seeing you on there, even though you haven't run so well. I haven't caught up to the end of it yet, but
Yeah, hey, Alan.
glad to see you on there.
Alan, were you aware about how they picked the loose cannon this year? Like, do you know how they did the rules and stuff?
No, that surprised me. I thought it'd be like
Yeah.
a completely random
Well, here's
person.
what they did though. So they got like a bunch of people to go to Resorts World and play a tournament, and then when they got down to like 12, they did like interviews with people and they picked from there. So it seems like they felt like, oh, because they got Nikki Limo in that final 12, like this is going to be best for the show. But obviously, the whole point of that show in the past was like getting an average Joe guy, like the Fishman guy, the teacher, getting a random person to play with the pros. So I kind of hope they don't go like this influencer route where they're like, okay, hopefully an influencer like makes the final 12 so we can just pick them, because that's like not what the show used to be about.
Yeah, I understand that. We don't disagree. Um, but when if you know Nikki, she's a wonderful person. Like she's great, like in every way. And you got to root for her.
Yeah, 100%.
And um,
No, I have
I,
nothing
I,
against
I
her at
don't I
all.
don't I don't know what they're thinking, but she's really fun to be around. And, like great sense of humor and like an honest person. So it's just like
Yeah. I'm glad she's
um,
in it, and like I got nothing to love for her. But yeah, just hopefully for future the producers like realize that, because like, or no, I don't know, maybe it's about the ratings and the production. Maybe that's the only way for them to make money on the show. Maybe, and I just don't know any better. But
well, no, I actually think Nikki deserved to be a regular person on the show.
yeah,
Um,
definitely she would be more in that
move her,
spot than a loose cannon spot.
yeah, yeah, move her from loose cannon to invitee.
Yeah,
She
that'd be
deserved
cool
it.
for season 2. See, now you're
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah, totally level her up, build the narrative of like former loose cannon turned, you know, whatever, and then bring in
And then get the school
the
teacher.
looser
Remember,
people.
like we got that quote, like he's a school
Yeah,
teacher. Classic.
yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Bobby, what do you got?
I got an easy hypothetical for you. You got the PJ fired up, got a beautiful girl on your arm. You're hungry. You could go anywhere in the world. What's for dinner?
Yeah, there's no chance that like any bite of food is gonna be more valuable than like the people that I spend it with. So I'm not like obsessive about where I eat or what I do or the seats I'm in. So
I guess a better
uh,
question is,
yeah.
where's the best food that you've ever had?
Oh, Carbone's my favorite. So Carbone Vegas. If you ever go there, I'm probably there. I bring friends and family there. If I'm in town, I'm probably there. So,
Snoop with that.
Yeah, I think watching you, like, I'm teaching my girl that you met at the meetup game, Brittany. I'm teaching her poker, and we were watching the game, and I explained, like, she, notices how people react and stuff when they win and lose. Like, it's kind of crazy that you really, it doesn't seem like it affects you. I know that you're probably more wealthy in some of these spots than the other people at the table, but I know that you're competitive. Do you just hide it well? Do you ever tilt?
What
Because
do you
like that's
mean? He did
probably
a victory lap after he
no, no,
won
no,
the
no. I'm
millie
talking
pot. What
about
are you talking
tilting,
about?
not enjoy, not
That was
celebrating. I'm
one time.
talking about do you ever tilt? Because that's my biggest leak by far.
yeah, I mean, the more I like play poker, the more I realize like you can't like out game. I mean, what you know about the game going into it has so much less to do with like how you handle yourself. So I think it's better to spend your time on managing the tilt if that's your issue, or um, just dealing with yourself because even away from poker, you're still living within yourself.
It's good
So spend some,
advice.
yeah, spend some time like managing your emotions.
Yeah. Keating, I gotta ask, how did the table feel about Peter hit and running? Well, I guess you weren't there the day he hit and ran for $1 million, but he did leave a little earlier, being up 3.5 million. Did that piss you guys off a little bit, or?
I wasn't there, so like it wasn't for me to be pissed off.
No, the second night you were
Um,
though. He left. He was kind of, you guys were 6-handed. He left being up 3.5 million because he lost one hand to you or whatever it was.
that was disappointing. People
Yeah, I
don't
mean, that
know
had to
this.
piss you
I
off
did
a little bit, right?
well. I did. It was my kind of like chance to think of it like boxing. You like finally land a punch, you get excited about the next punch.
Yeah, and this
You
guy throws in the towel.
well, and to myself, I remembered how much money I wired in, and I thought to myself, like, okay, these guys on my left are outplaying me, and you know, this isn't a great situation for me. But if I get lucky and get a land a punch, then I knock them down from 4 million to 3 million. Well, I wired in, a good amount of money. I was ready to take 3 million more on my table and add
Yeah,
to five and try to stack him. And that was my plan. So
yeah,
like the viewers kind of got robbed of a chance of me adding 3 million on my two and not folding to anything he did. And that was
yeah. I
my
thought
plan.
I thought it was a super weak move for him. But what holds you guys back from talking shit when someone does that? Is it like, does Ryan ask you guys not to like say anything, or you just want to like keep the relationship good with him, or like, because nobody threw any jabs at him, and I was a little surprised by that.
Well, the high stakes community is like different than, because it's just so small and you don't, a lot of the mistakes I made have been like making a judgment too fast. Um, and so, you can look at it, walk into that situation, it's like a clear hit and run. But, if you spend the time to understand like some of the dynamics, it's just, um, a lot of times there's more going on that you don't know. So, if you're around
Yeah,
a while, you're like, maybe I don't understand something. And you talk to some people afterwards and you're like, you kind of figure out what happened and it's not a big deal.
that's true.
Um,
But two times in 3 days is kind of like, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were, uh, we were borderline or more than borderline on that respect for sure.
But you had a classic comment. Someone said, I forget what someone said to you. Like, you sent him packing, or you felt it. You're like, I didn't felt him. He's still up $3 million fucking dollars. What do you mean?
Yeah. I wish like, that it's impossible to be a good commentator. Like you can't say enough and you can't say less at the same time. Like
Right. It's a
I don't
fine
envy
line.
these commentators' job, but like the value I bring, beyond like how I play is like I do tease people like a lot, and I try to make jokes a lot, and it's often in the space that the commentator feels like comfortable talking, but from a viewer's perspective, you probably missed like some pretty funny jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we did. And if you guys are talking, they should just shut their mouths. Yeah, 100%.
No, I don't know that. I don't know that because like
Well,
they don't
if
know.
you're telling me that we missed some funny jokes, then
It's just I'm just saying there's no perfect way to do it. That's why a commentator's job is so hard.
yeah, no, that's fair. Soto does a really good job, but yeah, Raver talks a little
Like
too
did
much,
you
but
see that? Did you see the hand where I had queens and I snap folded?
Yeah, I saw that one. The other guy had
uh,
queens too, right?
Queens versus kings.
Yeah, yeah. What was that guy's name? Dwan.
what was that guy's name? Yeah, we know. Yeah, and we know how happy you were when he came back to the game sitting on your left.
Oh my god, not
That's
that
fucking.
happy.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know you know
I
what
saw it
annoys
all
me
over
is
your
like,
face. I'm like, this Keating is pissed right now. He's fucking.
well, it's just you know what, like I don't care. Like I get along.
No, but
Like,
Dir's
that's kind of my
grinding it
goal.
out though. He's.
Well, I'm not saying that. What
Well,
the
I'm
only
saying that.
I'm not saying that. The thing that upset me was like there was like a controversy about like people were speculating that I blocked him out, and it's like, dude, I played with him for 2 days. You think if I blocked him out, he would have played? Like,
Right.
and then people were in the chat. Like, I invited people I care about, friends, family, to watch, and they're excited. They're watching the live chat, and people are spamming like, fuck Keating. He blocked Doug Polk and he blocked Durr, and it's just like, dude, what? Like, um,
In Dur's defense, he did say like on Twitter that you didn't block him, but yeah.
Oh, did he? Well,
He
it's just
did.
it doesn't matter though. When people
No,
like
it's
get an
it's
idea,
perception. Yeah, it's
they
perception.
run away
Yeah.
with it.
Was Tom a little bit like not as aggro as he usually is? Would you say, Keating? Like he's not like as
Wolf, were you watching? That's who Dewan is these days. He's not Dewan from 20 years ago.
yeah, true. All right, who is next? Snoop or Steph?
Go ahead, Steph.
Ladies first.
Thanks. Is it
So
cool if
Snoop,
I
go
ask
ahead.
something that's not MDG?
Of course.
So Alan, you came out in the big game recently, and you even had that 10 deuce hand against Phil when he had pocket aces. You got him to fold when you hit like trips on the flop. Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like to be a part of something so iconic?
Oh shit, I haven't watched the last episode. So you're telling me that Helmuth had aces and I flopped trips with 10 deuce and he folded?
Yeah,
That's a night.
you went in with 10 deuce, and Jennifer was in, Phil was in, and so was Nikki. You had four people. You flopped trips, and he folded on the turn. And everybody who was watching, at least with me, freaked out because I don't think anybody would have made that move unless it was against you.
I don't know what Phil's doing in anything that he does. I don't understand anything about what he does.
You're saying he would have only folded aces against Keating? I'm confused.
Yeah, what do you mean, Steph?
That's backwards, I think.
Yeah, if it was a bluff, then that was good.
I mean, nobody else would have stayed in with a 10 deuce except Alan, but
Oh, right.
Alan
Oh,
was
except
really loose.
Alan. I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about
Yeah,
from
like
Phil's
I'm
perspective.
that makes me feel bad though because it's like, man, if I can't like get more bets out of aces when I make a hand with 10 deuce,
I
like
mean, the game sucks. Yeah, poker is like, oh god,
Well,
it's
Phil
like there's
Hellmuth.
too many nits now.
well, the reality is like in poker, the way to win is to have the better hand than the other person. Like it's not stealing pots. It's like you need to have a very good hand when someone else has a good hand, or you need to have an outstanding hand when someone has a very good hand. That's when you make the most money.
Well,
So
you have to have the right table image and the right reputation as well. I mean, you're not going to pay it. You're not getting paid on your good hands if you're Phil
nah,
Hellmuth or if you're a nit or you know what I mean. Unless it's just a cooler, but
I mean, you look at the look at the best players in the world.
you're always getting paid with your monsters because you know you're you. But
No, but look at the
Unless it's
best
Phil
players in the
Hellmuth.
world. They're not investing in their image. They're just playing amazing. You know, when you're investing in your image, you're just like making bad choices and throwing away
I mean, I
value.
guess it depends. Are we talking? I mean, cash games or tournaments is. I guess it depends, right?
Yeah, in cash games, it's a different skill. You know, it's not how good you are. Like I'm probably maybe the 100,000th best no limit player in the world.
Oh, you're such a liar.
I mean, I don't think I'm competitive at $1, $2 online. Like
Stop
I don't
it.
even.
I
What?
mean, you wouldn't. I mean, I
Are
know
you
that
kidding?
probably bores you, but Alan, you're a good poker player. I like how you downplay
No,
it, but you're a
but
good
like
poker player.
you don't. You're absolutely wrong. Like if I played $1, $2 online, there's no chance over a month I'd be up. Like no chance
Alan, what was your
because
gaming background before again?
Only because you don't play like a nit kid. And you like to play. You like to
no,
splash around, and have fun.
because
That's why.
they actually know things about the game that I don't. It's
Because
more than just
yeah,
like not being a nit. They're actually
they're
better at poker than
GTO
me.
bots. Yeah.
All right, Snoop, what's up? Get your hand out of the way.
I just want if you could answer, Alan, but
Wolf,
you
take
don't
the
have.
phone away from your mouth like three
Yeah, I
inches.
know.
Yeah.
Literally in your esophagus,
Jesus
Wolf.
Christ, man.
Uh, biggest river bluff ever for you, Keating, if you feel like answering. And have you ever been, you don't have to say names, but have you ever been cheated at a home game?
Uh, I don't know. Biggest river bluff. I don't know. Two something probably. I don't know. Have I been cheated? Yeah. I mean, like, it's funny because I sent a message into an LA group chat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all the cheating is in Los Angeles. I don't mean to be a hater and like generalize. It's just like, man, that's a that's a dirty town. But I've been cheated.
Which
You know,
town? LA.
yeah, yeah.
Why is
I've been cheated.
everyone?
Yeah, it's definitely been cheated for sure.
Did you get the $2 million bluff through?
I'm just guessing. Like I don't even remember. Like when hands are over, I don't even remember. I don't really care.
You
But
never
it's
write
like
them down after you. It's just out. It's just in the moment. You're
nah,
done.
Does he write them
it's gone.
down?
I love it. No, I
Yeah,
mean sometimes people.
Keating's the type to write his fucking hand down too. Yeah,
I don't even think through what happened.
yeah.
I don't even think through what happened. I watch car videos on YouTube and I go to sleep.
What a
Exactly.
legend.
Where are you right now, Keating? You sound like you're having a good time, or
He's at the
wherever.
baccarat table.
I'm actually with Airball. We're at MGM Mansions with Santosh and Charles and some of the group here. They're playing PLO.
No
Um,
shit.
yeah,
Living the dream.
so they brought me over to check out the game.
How do
We're in
you
the
get better
state.
at winning flips, Keaton? It seems like you win every fucking flip. Is it just not caring? Because I
Okay,
cannot win a flip.
I actually have a strategy here. I'm doing something with Joe Ingram. Can you email him this question? Because
Sure,
I'll give you the answer now, but like he's gonna take some questions and then like I'd like to give this answer to a bigger
I
audience
got you.
because I think it's important. Is I look at the deck like it's a living, like breathing organism, and that it can kind of sense if you're scared. It can like understand whether it trusts you or not, and it can understand when you're faking it. And so the way I think about it is I give absolute trust to the deck, and I accept the outcome no matter what it is. So I know how ridiculous it sounds, but when it comes to poker, I'm not scared of anything because
Hey, Alan.
I just
Oh wait,
trust the
wait, let
deck.
Alan finish, please.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Please continue the living organism, please.
Yeah, my point is you just trust the deck, and the deck understands whether your heart is true. And if you're faking it, you get fucked. And if you're real and you're true, like it kind of works out. And that's my approach.
Love it.
That's what's up, dude.
That's my problem. I always fake it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna win this, and but they know I'm faking it. I just don't believe it.
That was the
You
most
can't fake
profound
it.
thing I've ever heard about a poker deck in my life.
It's like the Matrix. Like the agents will get you unless you believe you're the one.
So would you say like this is when you say the deck, is that like pretty much the same thing as like the poker gods in a sense? Like,
There's something there.
yeah.
Different religion, basically.
I don't think it's like even constrained to poker. There's something out there.
All right, so who had a question? Omar.
Go ahead.
Omar, what are you doing? You running the show? What's going on, man?
I thought somebody was speaking.
Yeah, your secretary had a fucking question. She tried to cut Keaton off. Now she doesn't talk. I don't know what's going on.
Well, relax, B. Jeez.
Wait, so Alan, didn't you have like a gaming background before? I don't remember. Like, weren't you in some kind of like were you playing? I don't remember. Or that's someone else.
What do you mean gaming
I
background?
don't know. Like,
Alan's an old school poker pro,
did you?
man. What are you guys
No, no, no. I
talking
was saying
about?
before poker. Did you like play like StarCraft, like that type of shit? I'm not sure. I thought I heard someone say that before.
No, I'm not smart enough to like be competitive in StarCraft. I'd
No,
be like,
he's not a nerd like you.
That was
Sorry.
no,
me, Wolf.
that's not
Sorry,
true.
Right.
nerds.
Before Call of Duty, there was Medal of Honor, and I was on a clan for Medal of Honor, so I like competed in that. So maybe in that sense.
So when did you start playing poker? Like seriously, like end of high school type shit?
No, I started when I was like 4 or 5. Our
Or
families, yeah, I remember the first time I played, sitting on my grandfather's lap, and I finally got dealt in, and we were playing 7 card stud, and I got all these cards. It was like the King of Hearts, the Seven of Diamonds, the Five of Hearts, the Three of Diamonds, all this shit, and I I looked at across the table, and I think my aunt had like a pair showing, and I'm like betting she's raising. I'm betting I don't have a pair showing, but I got all these red cards. I'm like, what is she doing? And I bet and raise, and she's like, I have three of kind. I'm like, I have a flush, and they're like, no, flush is like all the same suit, not the same color. And
And
I
that's
was
like your first
devastated.
memory?
I was devastated. I was like, oh my god, like there needs to be a recount, like redeal this, like you know, I, So I've been playing since like 4 or 5. Our family plays poker, and that's like what we do. So
Nice.
Alan,
Alan, did
Alan, what was the best investment you ever made in your life?
that I don't like talking about that stuff. I mean,
Come
All
on,
right,
Pete.
fair enough.
Jesus.
Come on, dude.
Well, can you say how much you made off, or
No.
or nothing?
I
Oh,
don't.
what are you pocket watching for, Pete?
Yeah, it
Jesus.
doesn't matter, dude. He shows up to our
Wolfie,
meetup
shut up.
games.
Wolf, shut up.
Hey, me and Alan actually played at the same table before, dog. I mean, oh, okay. He's
Yeah,
going for a walk.
I the thing is the bets that I make are on like a 7 and 10 year horizon. So you can see the value of your bet appreciate over time because you have further investments come in at higher valuations, and you say, okay, I bought a piece at 10 million and now it's at 100, I'll 10x, but that's not liquid. It's like theoretical dollars, right? And
Yeah.
it's not until you like realize that game that you like fully understand like what really happened. And I've over talked, and no, I didn't exaggerate. I like actually understated it. It's just like it's bad to talk about it till you've reached like full liquidity. And so I've kind of like had some pretty cool outcomes, but I'll actually share something that like I kind of whispered about on $1 million game that people don't know. If you're interested, it's an investment based conversation, but as relates to Polymarket, like I own a piece of that company that sponsored this $1 million game.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. What's up, Turbo?
Yeah, Alan, I was gonna ask, like, you started playing poker when you're like 4 or 5. Like, I grew up in a games playing family, but we never played a lot of poker. Every once in a while, we played 5 card draw or stud. But I grew up like playing canasta in hearts, in backgammon, in like chess and checkers. Did you play any other games growing up, or just poker with the
Oh
family?
yeah, dude. Euchre. Um, Played a little bit of Risk, not a ton. You have to like spend some real time to do that. I tried to do Monopoly, that didn't stick.
Yeah, Risk and Monopoly take forever.
Yeah, but I kind of like those more. Um, we play Canasta, Euchre. Um, Never got into bridge. We didn't. That wasn't our thing. But we just came from a family where like everyone was like close knit, and we didn't like drink or party. We just like played cards. So
Yeah, I just signed up for Polymarket. So, being in Vegas, do you think that there's like a restriction for me betting, or do you think it's clear?
yes,
Oh, fuck.
yes. They don't take American bettors. So you know I don't really like telling details on this stuff, but you know I'll share some info. But it was like 5 years ago. I was in New York. Um, at the time, I owned a quarter of a hedge fund. It was a long short fund that was trading equities, and I was out in New York. Um, Under the guise of I'm gonna reach out to some of these bigger groups and help raise money if our pilot first year and a half really works out. So I went and met some people in like New York State pension fund and like built some relationships around that. And um, at the time, a friend messaged me and was like, "Hey, I'm going to this crypto conference. Like, come with me." And I was like, "Okay, no problem." Like, um, I was interested in learning more, and I went out, and it was like 20. 17 or 18, and I kind of like always looked at crypto like a kind of like a tip of the spear speculative asset that like if you really want to like trade it, it's like all about liquidity and like in lay terms, like if you're a taxi driver saying buy Bitcoin, sell it, right? And if everyone's like abandoning it, buy it, right? And so I just chatted with a bunch of people, and most people I thought were like friendly, but not like too savvy. And then I met this like I think he was 18 at the time, and 18-year-old, and he was so ambitious, so focused. He was competent, opinionated. I'd ask him questions, and he'd like defend them. He'd rationalize. He'd like listen, and I'm like, wow, this guy's like got a lot going on, and like all the bets I do are like very early stage, so they're like ideas on a napkin, pre-revenue, or like very early. And so when you do those kind of bets, you're just betting on the jockey. You're betting on the guy who's like executing on the idea, and he's got to be like resilient. He's got to like be able to pivot. He's got to like turn into different things, this kind of stuff. And I was like, man, this guy's I'm not like obsessed with crypto, but like there's something special about this guy, right? And so I stayed in contact. I was out there with another friend that was in that long short fund, and we went to dinner with another friend, and I said, hey, let the three of us, let's just give this guy a little bit of money and see what he does, right? And he had an idea, and it didn't quite work out, and the other guys followed me on it, and the founder called me and he was like, hey, I need some more money, I'm going to pivot to another idea. I was like, when you're making a bet on these people, like just because they don't hit the first time, like doesn't mean you abandon them. Like the other two guys didn't add, and I gave them more money, and I was like, I don't know where it's gonna go, but I like this guy. I really want to see him succeed, and he pivoted that project that I initially invested in and took kind of like that bridge money and transitioned it into Polymarket, which is now raised 10 million from GC, which is like a top firm in VC, General Catalyst, and then he went out and raised money from Vitalik Buterin, or how you pronounce it, the Ethereum founder, and Founders Fund, which is like the best VC firm in the world, I think. I think it's raised almost 70 million under this idea. So the money that I initially put in, to this guy blind, probably, I don't know, 30, 40x over the last 5 years. And it didn't dawn on me until maybe a few weeks ago. They told me that Poly Market was sponsoring the $1 million game, and I was like, wow, that's my 18-year-old friend, now 23-year-old friend's idea. Like I couldn't believe it, but I don't like to, I don't know, I don't like to advertise, but it was a cool experience.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, bro.
So, with the World Series of Poker in town, do you, have anything planned? You don't play many tournaments. Any juicy cash games?
I'm standing in front of one right now. Santos is deep. I don't know what they're doing.
What stakes are they playing?
I think it's like 1K, 2K. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
But do you ever just like play a WSOP tournament like just for fun, and even, or like the main event you're definitely gonna play, maybe not even the
Yeah,
main event?
about 364 days a year, I say I'm never playing a tournament in my life, and then one day a year I wake up and I say I'm going to play the main event, and then I go and I sign up, and I leave about an hour and a half later, and I say, how dumb am I? and they take my 10K.
Alan, are you at all
Interesting.
spontaneous?
What was that?
I asked if you are at all spontaneous.
Most certainly.
We
What's
have a
the nature of the
little
question?
Well, we have a little poker spaces tournament that we do, and we do it on Saturdays. Um, I mean, watching you play might be fun. I don't know that you'd gain anything out of it except spending time with people who, appreciate you. Would you ever consider joining us on a Saturday?
How does it work? A spaces tournament?
We're playing on ACR every Saturday, and we're doing like a $33 like PKO and stuff. But yeah, Stephanie, you weren't around, but Alan actually played at a meetup game with us in December for the win. So if you're around it in Vegas in December, you're in Alan's around, we'll probably play that again, hopefully.
Yeah, just always let me know when you're doing something in Vegas because I'm here half the year. It's just that um, when it comes to things, I can't plan even like a week out. Like it's really a problem for my family and friends because they'll say like, I want to visit you, and I'll say like I really want them to visit, but um, I fly probably every 2, 3, 4 days, um, and I'm kind of in this like growth phase where I don't say no to any new deals and like kind of chase down um, kind of like important conversations because um, I kind of live through like the startup culture and I get really excited about it and I want to spend my energy on it. Um, and I don't want to let people down and I don't want to like commit like, oh yeah, in 3 weeks, I'll be here, come here. And then, hey, I got to go to Puerto Rico for this dinner, and, um, I'm still in a phase where I'm trying to get myself somewhere, you know, so I just don't
Yeah.
want to let them down.
Yeah, we'll definitely let you know if when that meetup game happens, like a month in advance.
Yeah, that was a good time last time. Everybody had fun. It was pretty cool that you showed up, splashed around a little bit. It was good times. Everybody had fun.
Yeah, and it was actually cool. Like you played like pretty normal. You didn't play like you had a bajillion more dollars than us. You know what I mean? Like so that was cool. You played serious.
Well, I don't, I don't like the idea of me being like in any way better than anyone or like it's not about me. When I go to the meetup game, I think you remember I'm asking you guys questions. I'm trying to understand y'all. I don't like the like power imbalance of like this guy's got attention or like we know him from this or know him from that. That doesn't mean like someone's better than someone else. I go into that meetup game saying like, hey, here's some people who like poker that are friendly and let's have some fun and that's it.
He's a humble king.
Well, if you ever have a Saturday early evening, let us know. It's a lot of fun. We get to knock each other out and we talk shit to each other in a space, and it's a lot of fun. It's a friendly competition, but the banter is my favorite part. Um, so we'd love to have you. Anyway,
Hey, go ahead, Tejas.
Yeah.
Hey Alan, I was wondering, do you ever bet sports, and what's your biggest sports bet? And also, what's the most you ever flipped for?
Mm, I'm not super into it because I just don't care enough about sports. But the Ryan Garcia fight was I bet everything I could everywhere I could, um, just because I had a personal interest in it. I really appreciate the guy. He's just a really wonderful person, and the odds were super long, and I went to the fight. And being friends with a fighter is a challenging thing, probably just like a poker player, because you know you're just worried. If they lose, it's a big problem, and if they win, you're just like relieved. And with him, I was just relieved, but I just believe him.
Yeah, what a score that was. You called it, man. Good call. I remember you came on the space and yeah, what a score.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I think I got like plus 550 blended average. Um, it was pretty crazy because I I went to I went to it and I had a box for his fight in Houston, and I invited some of his friends, and it was a fight that he won, and then one of the friends that was there, invited me to his box in New York, and I'm not used to not paying for everything. It's like uncomfortable for me. Um, so I don't know, I just don't like it, and so I joined this box, and it was supposed to be a lot of Garcia supporters, and I'd already like maxed out all my accounts to bet on him as much as I could, and someone came up to me and he was like, "Hey, you know, I want to bet on the other guy. Do you want more Garcia?" I'm like, "What? Like we're in a Garcia box, and you're like soliciting a bet for like the other person? Like, no, like change your mind and bet on Garcia, so you're like we're all on the same side." And he's like, "No, I'm a big Haney fan." And I looked at him like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like, I want to bet more on him, and it was like a significant number. Um, and I was like, "All right, man, you got it." And so like I already bet everything I could on him, and then one of his boys wanted to bet against him, and I even got more down on him. Um,
One of his
so
boys, unbelievable.
that kind of shocked me.
Fucking snakes
Hey,
everywhere.
Alan.
Hey, what?
Sorry. Just a follow up. If you can say, do you think you cleared over or under 10 million?
10 on what?
On the Garcia fight,
10 what?
10 million?
Oh
Because
no,
Garcia
nowhere
himself
near
bet
that.
2 million on himself. Oh, okay.
Nowhere near that. Yeah, we're not. We're not insane. And I'm not a big sports bettor. It's not like I have like a channel of people to bet with. You know.
Go ahead, Turbo.
Yeah, Alan. If you play any mixed games or non-hold'em games, what's your favorite one?
Dude, I don't even know how to play Hold'em, man. Like, I started PLO like 2 years ago, and like my strategy in PLO is simple. If the cards look like they go together, I re-raise.
Yeah,
Um,
same. I am pretty dusty at PLO, but it's a whole lot of fun.
I don't understand a lot of it. I love like raising and then finding the aces and like calling their re-raise and trying to hit like a pair and shoving and hopefully you make two pair. That's kind of my strategy.
I love the way you downplay yourself. It's so amazing.
Is there a more fun way to play it? Like you just want to bust a miss.
No,
Like
that's
that's the
what I
whole
love.
goal.
Yeah, yeah. You are what is great about poker. Like everybody else is like why poker sucks. I mean, you were what is great about poker and what poker should be. But everybody else is kind of killing the fucking game.
Yeah, you have like the
You
old
know,
school like poker vibe from like back in the day, like the personality.
well, I don't know. Like, I've often been too critical of other people thinking that they should look if they look at it a way that they want to approach that they wanted to. Like the only choice I have is to say whether I want to engage with that person or not.
Right.
And
No, but just from an
so,
outsider's view, I think, yeah. I mean, you know it. I mean, you're a humble guy. You're being nice and everything, but yeah, you know you're doing you do the right poker the right way.
Go ahead, Tejas.
Hey, Alan. Yeah, it's Tejas. It's a hard J. I saw the Texas Mike hand. You looked kind of bummed to take his money after you busted him, basically. What's going through your mind with that one? Because I felt like you were trying to offer him you were trying to offer him something back in return.
yeah, I mean, we had gone back and forth, and by the time like that ace queen to tens happened, I was just in a mood to get it in. You know, there's not a lot of thinking. It's not like does he have tens or like ace queen. Like I don't really care. It was kind of like in a moment where I just wanted to get it in. The excitement kind of builds up, but then once you're all in, you start thinking of the consequences. And when I thought of how much he was down, and you know that he wasn't going to rebuy, and then we were running it once, it's like it was kind of lose lose situation where I was like, okay, if I win that hand, like someone I respect and you know really want to see succeed is like leaving, and if I lose the hand, I lose like $1 million, which sucks. So it's like yeah. So I have more kind of connection to him. It's not like through conversation we had, but more of like mutual respect for how he played and how he handled himself. That I just kind of wasn't thrilled to win. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Because honestly, personally I found Texas Mike my favorite player in the whole MDG, even though he lost the most, but he was just the most classiest as well. Of course, you were pretty classy as well.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Hey,
Texas Mike's a legend.
hey, Ryan. Great job on the $1 million game. I had fun sweating, Mr. Keaton. It was quite the show. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
Got a pretty
Thanks.
big lineup on that Max Payne Monday coming up too, huh?
This Monday?
What is that? The Neymar game when
Oh,
Neymar's coming up.
yeah, that'll be June 23rd. So that's in 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Beautiful. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me and Alan were talking about that today and some ideas and whatnot, and we want to make this one special. We want to try to make this as big of a deal as the Mr. Beast game was a couple years ago. So we're hopeful.
Yeah,
Well,
Smith
yeah.
didn't have any interest in coming back. Or Ludwig, like even Ludwig was cool to have.
Um, yeah, over the last 2 years, I've tried to reach out to some of the guys that played in that game, and some of them are tough. I've just kind of gotten um, showered by Ludwig over text a few times. So I'm just kind of, I just don't know him well enough. I don't know Mr. Beast well enough. Alan, I think, pretty well. Um, so it's tough because I'm not close to those guys, but Ludwig, especially, I don't think that he's realistic to have back.
Yeah, they're all super busy. To be fair,
But to be honest, there's other people out there that are like, 2 years later now that are pretty big in that kind of space, in terms of YouTubers and streamers and TikTokers and all that. Like, there's people that are really big that
yeah,
can
you
move
could
the
have an
needle
influencer game
nearly as
too
much or just as much.
with like different people completely.
So so there's a couple of people we're targeting that I think are maybe not many people are bigger than Mr. Beast, but people that are bigger than the other people. and I think for the last three spots that we have, I think we're going to get some really big names. I mean, the interest that I've gotten in the last day is pretty crazy since we announced it last night and posted it on IG and on Twitter. Um, I mean, I kid you not, I've probably got 20 texts or messages of people that want to play in the game. Some of which are anywhere from name poker pros to just like friends and regulars that have played on our show that are like recreational, like fun players, to even one pretty big influencer. So we've gotten like some really good interest, and I think based on that, we're going to be able to fill it with at least two, probably three really cool people. So we're pretty confident that we're going to have like a super all star lineup for this.
Did Russell Westbrook call?
No, but I think the people we're going to get are potentially bigger than that. I mean, if you're a basketball fan, to us, Russell Westbrook's pretty big, but in the grand scheme of things, some of these influencers and YouTubers and whatnot are pretty damn big. If you think about their
This is for
followings.
the Sunday, June 23rd game you're talking about?
All right, I guess we're not doing hands.
Yes.
Okay.
So did the request get sent out to Paul Pierce or no, Ryan?
I don't think Paul Pierce is playing poker these days.
Is he not? Is he not playing poker? Or is he too much of a risk to have on your show if he's drinking?
Yeah,
He gets out of line pretty quick.
Yeah, he said he's not coming back because we don't have no hookah and no girls.
Yeah,
That's a pretty fair point.
He's a private game guy.
He's like, you ain't got no hookah, you ain't got no girls, man. What kind of game is this?
It's fair.
That's a good idea for Vegas. Vegas stream.
Yeah.
And by the way, so is that how you got Keating to come play this one? You offered him a seat in that fucking game with Garcia and these guys?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
just kidding.
Alan's really good. Alan's really good friends with Pedro, who Pedro is really good friends with Neymar, and Alan is friends with Neymar and Jimmy Butler as well. And so that was just an automatic from the beginning that if we're going to do this game with Pedro and Neymar and Jimmy, that Alan has to be in the game, especially how he performed in that Mr. Beast game a couple years ago. So we know that he knows how to put on a show and make
he's gonna
these celebrities
90%
feel
VPIP. He's not gonna play hard. Yeah.
What's the number?
Is Jimmy Butler? I had no idea he was into poker. I had no idea Jimmy Butler was into poker.
Yeah, I think so. Alan, have you played with Jimmy Butler before? Or he's muted. He's muted right now. But yeah, I guess so. I don't know if he got into it through them or what, but like I said, he's friends with this guy Pedro and Neymar, and they're both into poker. So I think he plays some. I don't know how much or how good he is, but we'll find out. But I think it's pretty cool, pretty unique to have an active NBA All Star in the game.
Yeah, we can hear you, Alan. Oh, never mind. You muted it again. What's up, Turbo?
Yeah, Ryan, I want to congratulate you on like a really successful week. Great week of poker, probably better than last year in my opinion. But I have two questions for you. One, are you going to take a break, and what are you looking forward to? And then, have you reached out to Sketch to play on that Max Payne Monday game?
Does he play poker?
I have no idea. I was just curious because that guy is like on fire right now, and I would love to see him at a poker table.
Yeah, there's a couple of those like young influencers that would be pretty cool. Oh wait, I don't even know if he's 21. Is he? I don't. There's some of those kids that are like aren't even 21 yet that are like kind of gone so viral recently. Like just got to figure out which ones move the needle the most and which ones are like into poker. But we're gonna find some. Yeah, I'm taking a break this weekend, but a little bit.
Yeah, I just looked. Sketch is over 21, so eligible to play.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, I wish wish we, like some of those kids, like the streamers that are pretty young, would be cool to have. But what was I gonna say? No, I mean we have shows all this week, so I'll be back in there. Our staff will be back in there. I'm taking off Monday because my family is in my mom, and my sister are in town visiting, so I'm gonna take off Monday, but I'll be back in there Tuesday and go from there. And then during the main event, we're gonna be off the air for 2 weeks, so we're taking a longer break this year.
There you go.
Are you going to play in the main or any events?
Yeah, I always play the main, so I'll play that and maybe one other. We'll see.
Hey Ryan, is it okay to inquire about the Billy situation, or is that something not you don't want to?
I mean, depends what the question is, but
Oh,
I'm
just
not
I
like
mean,
afraid
just
of it.
I just I just curious, what the fallout was, or I kind of have an idea, but I don't know. I just was curious from your end, how the
You mean what? You mean like
yeah,
why? I mean, he kind of alluded to it in his video, but um, I don't know. It was a really weird thing to me, to be honest, because I, we really didn't have any like negative interactions. Like he had complaints about a few things over the years that he brought to my attention, like after I had already heard that he was like telling other people some complaints, and then we kind of agreed like we'll address those complaints and make sure they don't happen in the future. And then nothing happened after that, like negative. And then we had a really good meetup game. And then like the next day or 2 days later, he just told us he was leaving, and we're just kind of surprised by it. We're like, okay, like he just wants to do his own thing, and I guess he thinks that his stream can be a really big thing, and he wants to focus on hosting. And I don't know, maybe just
yeah.
being part of the stream was stressing him out. I don't know. To be honest, it was a really weird thing to me because I thought that we did a lot to help him get his name out there more, be successful, promote him, put him in good spots to be successful in other
For
ways.
sure.
And
No one knew who
um,
Billy was that didn't, well, that wasn't involved serious in poker, like, before you guys.
yeah, but I mean, I have nothing bad to
No,
say about him. I think he's awesome. Like as a commentator, as a promoter, like everything. And I hope he's successful in whatever he does. I was a little disappointed that he walked away from such a good opportunity where we weren't really asking for that much from him. Um, so I thought it was mutually
did he feel
beneficial.
like he wasn't being
He
fairly compensated or something from, running the
no,
Monday
it
and
wasn't. It
Thursday
wasn't about
games and
no, it wasn't about money. We let him plan his own 2 games a week. He got to pick his lineups. Um, he got to commentate whichever days he wanted to commentate. I wanted him to commentate even more than he was. Um, he was a host in the casino, in both casinos. Um, that was it. That he got to do meetup games. Like he got to do whatever he wanted to do. We didn't put any pressure on him.
yeah,
Um, Nothing. His issue was kind of just like little like isolated incidents that added up, or things like kind of like, oh well, I didn't like the way you guys said this
right.
or did this or this and
Just kind
this,
of not
and
getting
that's
your way
fine. But
type of thing. Yeah,
yeah, but it's like, I mean, anyone who's been any of you guys who have been in business for a long time, like who have had jobs, you probably know that like you don't have to agree with every single thing that your boss does or that management does. You don't have to like every single person
you
perfectly.
never will. Now you don't
Um,
have to. You never will ever.
yeah,
Yeah,
right. But in my opinion, like if you overall, when you zoom out, enjoy the job, and think it's overall positive, beneficial
yeah,
for you, then you just roll with it, and
yeah.
try to not make a big deal of the
Of the little shit. Yeah,
things you don't like. Yeah, and so, but he took some things personally that just were nothing
yeah.
burgers to us, but were big
But
deals to
that's the
him.
way he. I
And
mean, he says it himself. He calls himself a sensitive boy. You know what I mean? He knows. Yeah, he is. He can be sensitive to things, and
yeah, but yeah, after he left, he didn't reach out or anything, didn't say hey, thanks for everything. I'm just gonna leave it. He didn't say
Wow,
anything. He
really?
just left. I never heard from him, and which was kind of disappointing because like right at the meetup game, we were cool and we were talking and everything was good.
Okay.
And like I didn't do anything to him. Nothing happened. We didn't have any negative interactions. Nothing. And like he didn't even reach out and say anything. And then I look on social media and he blocked me and us on everything. And I was just like, what? Who does that? Like, why? Like, nothing happened. Like, why would you
Is it
block
is it
us? Like, it
is
doesn't
it
make any
is
sense.
Nick doing something? Because like the vibe that I'm getting is that like you guys or not you. There's no names, but like someone's fucking with him from the Hustler. It's very
No,
vague. It's
nothing
very
happened.
vague, but like
No, I mean, look, again, there were things that he wasn't happy with, but nothing like happened. There was
no. But
no
I'm saying like
big
even
argument
after
or big
his
falling out. There
departure,
was no
like he's
requests.
being fucked with. He thinks
No, none
at
of us,
least.
neither of us talked to him
Yeah.
afterwards. And then I reached, even with all that, I reached out and I just said, "Hey, man, I wish you nothing but the best. Hope all's good. Blah blah blah." And he was just like, "Thanks, man." And that was it. But
Yeah. Super weird.
I still wish him the best, and I hope he does well. And I always liked him. I've known him for probably 10 years, almost 9 years, and since I moved here, and it's always been cool.
Yeah,
And
he used to call
he's
you
a big
guys the
part of.
biggest bank of his life. Like he said that.
Yeah,
Like
he was the biggest.
yeah,
He was a big part of our
yeah.
show. He brought a lot to us. He did a lot, all of that. So nothing but respect for him.
So that's weird. So
Was
that
there,
caught you totally off guard. Then you didn't see it coming at all. You're saying?
I'm not saying I didn't see it coming at all. Like we kind of saw it brewing up for him in the few weeks before, but I was still a little surprised.
Okay.
Was there kind of a before and after for Jack Ford, do you think? Because I know he talked about that.
Yeah, yeah. That was part of it. There was a bunch of things, but like that really got to him, and the pressure and all the people talking about different things and accusing him. And I get it, but I mean,
I
look.
think he let him get it to let it get to him a little too much
I
personally.
mean,
But
look, they were just as much as they were talking about Billy, they were talking about 5 times as much as me and Nick, and we got over it, and we found ways to cope with it and move on. And if you're confident in what you're doing, then you don't need to worry about all the chatter, in my opinion.
yeah, he let that thing weigh him down way too much, in my opinion. And I get it because there was like on poll they were like, oh, is this guy is he
It was a
cheating?
tough time
Is
for
he like?
sure.
Of course,
It,
that was gonna fuck you up and piss you off for a while.
it was a tough time
Yeah,
for sure, but it's not a
but don't let
reason
it
two
drag on
years later
forever. Like I mean,
to it's not a reason a year and a half later to leave the company you work
right,
for because you
right,
don't
right,
like what people on the internet are
right.
saying. Like that doesn't do anything. That doesn't accomplish anything. So I mean, it was a lot of little things for him, and maybe he just wants to be not as much in the. I mean, he still has a show, but maybe he wants to be not in the spotlight as much. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought it was strange, I mean, because you guys, he was already doing his own show and still working there, and you guys are fine with that. So, and it's still the same schedule, and yeah, it was kind of weird. I don't know, but it's not. Hey, it's not my business, really. It's his life. It's he knows what's best for him,
Yeah.
right? I guess. So, you
Yep.
know, um, God damn, Lauren, Jesus Christ, man, she looks like she lost. I mean, wow, she lost so much weight. It's crazy. Oh, so I shouldn't say that. I guess that's not cool to say these days. Someone gave me heat last time I said that. I don't know. Is that not okay to say?
I mean, you can compliment someone. It's
Right?
okay.
Isn't that a compliment? Like last time I said, like, oh, well, what? She was fat before? Like, oh my god, dude. Like, what? Yeah, wow. She lost a lot of weight.
so you play tournaments at all, Ryan? WSOP, firing anything?
Not much these days, but just kind of the main event. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, right on. You got anything for us, Vent? Go ahead, Vent.
What's up? No, I want to get to the bread and butter. Feldman's the man. There's a reason why DJF and all that's going down, but there's something with him and Bertucci that no one's talking about. And I guess we'll figure it out eventually. But something happened that
Yeah.
you don't just disappear from a company that everyone loves you, everyone's commenting. We want you.
Well,
Like, there's something that happened that it's gonna be closed doors, whatever. It's just some bullshit. But I
well,
guess we'll never know.
Billy can make rashes. Well, go ahead. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
Well, I'll just tell you guys what there. First of all, there was there's no crazy like, oh my god, that's what it is. This thing happened. No, but the biggest thing for Billy that he was upset about was that when he had this idea to start the Lucky Ladies stream, that first of all, he never went to us and told us he wanted to do it. He works for us. He works for the casino, and he never pitched it or never said like, "Hey, is this okay? Or how does this affect me? Can I do this?" He just did it, right? He announced he was doing it, and we didn't like that, and we just said, "Hey, man, like, you can't like start a competing stream when you work for a stream. That's just not how it works." And we just said, "Hey, we have, you just have to go about things a different way." And he didn't like that, and he thought that like we're stepping on his toes or something and not letting him
Right.
succeed, but it's not at all. So that kind of affected him, and that's why one of the big reasons why he like started getting more upset and disgruntled was because he thought we were trying to stop him from succeed, but that wasn't at all. If he went to us and said, "Hey, I have this idea I want to do. This would mean a lot to me. Like, you guys cool with this? Is there a way that we can do this together?" We would have said, "Yeah, like, let's promote it on our show. Let's get some good equipment. This is a good idea. Like, we'll have it as a post game show. Every time our show ends, we'll push our audience to that audience. Like, let's do it." But he never did that. He just wanted to do it on his own and it to be like his own business instead of making it like a tangent that he asked us for.
So this was a big
If
piece.
it's Yeah, that was the
So
biggest
Ryan,
thing. But
I mean, I gotta say, a little disingenuous. Like when I asked you this a second ago, and you don't even mention it. I mean, come on.
okay, well, this is personal business. I'm
Well,
not.
I
It's
mean,
not my
either
job
talk
to come out
about it
here
or
and talk about
don't,
personal
right?
business.
But I mean, you just say, "Well, gee whiz," the guy was happy. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened. Like,
Yeah, I'm
either
saying
talk
that
about it
wasn't
or
that
don't.
wasn't
Don't like fucking say, "Hey, I had no
no
idea."
that wasn't
Come on, man.
that wasn't that wasn't what happened right at the
Come
end.
on,
That
Ryan.
Come
was
on,
a couple.
No. Fair is fair.
B.
Omar.
Well,
Listen, listen. Billy,
it's not me you're holding to the fire
he's
here.
making Billy look a little crazy, right? And right, and now all of a sudden, I mean, come on.
B, we need to chill
Well,
out
that
here,
was
I'm
B.
just being
that
fair. Hey,
wasn't what
Wolf,
happened right at the end.
Ryan, I'm just being
That
fair.
was two
I
months
like you,
before that.
Ryan. I'm just being fair. Like, yeah.
What I'm telling you is that happened about 2 months before he
Sure,
left,
but
and
that's
that
the
was
main piece.
resolved. Can I
I'm
talk, or
sorry.
do you want me to leave?
Nah, go for a walk, B. Fuck, come on.
Later, B.
If you're inviting me to
Yeah,
talk, let
go
me
ahead,
talk. You don't
Ryan.
have to
I
interrupt me. The Like that happened a while before the end. What I'm telling you is that there was no incidents that happened in those weeks leading up to it. Like like nothing happened where the one day he's like, "Okay, I'm leaving." Like, no, there was no incident that happened. He just in his mind decided that all these things that happened in the past, whether it was 2 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, that it was time to leave. Usually, when you leave a company or something, it's because of one incident that happens, right? You're like, "Oh, well, I wanted more money and they wouldn't give me more money," or it's like, "I got into an argument with my boss and fuck him, I'm out."
Yeah, Ryan, we're sorry for
What
the
I'm saying is,
interrogation, man. We want to celebrate you in the $1 million game and shit, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's late after WSOP after dark. Everybody's partying. Go ahead, Clayton. Go ahead.
I was just curious if you've reached out to any professional golfers or have any leads with, because there's obviously a huge crossover with golf and poker.
Um, no. There's one that I forget his name that's friends with like Scott Blumstein. I remember he said one time he might bring Max Homa or whatever. Is that his name? Something like that. I don't think he's big,
Yeah,
but
Max Homa
other than
is a
that,
huge
no.
golf name.
Oh, he
Yeah.
is. Okay. Um, Yeah, no. Other than that, no. I know Helmuth knows Tiger Woods. I know he plays a little poker. Obviously,
Yeah,
that would be cool
he's in
one day.
town right now. He's over there hanging out with Matt Savage today, right?
Isn't that Vegas? That's in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, Phil Ivey, and Lynn Gilmartin at the same table, next to each other.
Yep. Saw that.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. LA. You got something for us? Or Mr. Las Vegas, my apologies.
What up, Joe?
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on? I have a question for Oh wait, Mr. Las Vegas, go ahead.
Oh,
Oh,
he's Mr. Las Vegas. Sorry. Go.
basically,
I thought you meant Joe. Go ahead.
basically, what I wanted to say is it's already challenging enough to get any poker game going, especially hoping that they add a flair to the game and also everyone's schedules working out and to get people that have $1 million. So to keep the game entertaining, you're not to bring people that will just hit and run. What keeps you, Ryan, from how do you keep people from basically sabotaging the game and like future references?
What do you
Like,
mean?
how do you make sure because they have all right to leave if they want, because it is a cash game, but it's a stream. And you have other
Uh huh.
people that would die to get in that game that would not leave. So, how come does
Yeah.
someone that's a foreigner all of a sudden have an
Oh, you're talking about
emergency?
Peter.
Yeah, it's just I don't understand how someone.
So Peter. So for Peter.
Yeah.
So Peter. We already. Well, not everyone, but I already knew before the game that Peter was leaving. So it wasn't like something
Oh.
he didn't hit and run. It's just there's a lot of things that happen. They're going behind the scenes that we just
Right.
don't need to talk about or announce
Right.
or whatever. They're just,
No one's business.
it's just, there's a lot of, especially this week, there's just a lot of things I just didn't come out and talk about because it's just like,
Wow.
it's not necessary. Like the game's a game, enjoy it if you want to watch it. It's not like the fans' business that
Mm-hmm.
this person's leaving or whatever. You could talk about it, make it drama, that's fine.
Right.
But, Peter, after day one, didn't want to play day two. He wanted to sit out for whatever reason.
Oh wow.
And I knew that we were short-handed on day two, and it wasn't a good-looking situation. And there's a lot of pressure to put these games
Mm-hmm.
on once we commit to it, right? So like there's a lot of stress and pressure to make sure we have enough players and the right kind of
Well,
players,
of
and
course.
and that the game goes and all of that. And so you can imagine like day one, I'm trying to figure out day two,
That's
and we're
crazy.
like, all right, we have six people, maybe for day two. That's not
How
great.
much was not to cut you off, but how much do you think on average is your production cost to just launch a simple game like that? Well, not a
I
simple
mean, it's
game.
just as hard. It's just paying our employees. It's just our each employees pay differently. It's just I don't want to say how much, but it's not anything crazy. It's just our employees' daily rate basically. Because our overhead, like there's no overhead as far as like other than employees.
Electric
There's
bill,
nothing
nothing like
really
that.
else. Yeah, I mean, sure, you could calculate that, but no, it's we have a pretty turnkey system where we're able to come in day out and run things pretty efficiently and quickly. So not too bad. But going back to the Peter thing, so people think he hit and ran, but yeah, he didn't want to play day two, and I had to beg him to play because we needed him. And like he was supposed to be like the spot, like the action guy in the game. He ended up winning 5 million for the week, but like he's one of the guys that everyone wanted to play with. And I'm like, without him and already being shorthanded, we're like screwed for day two. So I had to like beg him, like, please just come for like 2 hours, please. Cause I knew if I can get him there, maybe he'll stay longer. So finally, through his translators, he said, okay, fine, I'll come for 2 hours. So he comes like 2:30 and they said, okay, he's leaving at 6. I'm like, okay, fine. At least we got him there. We got a game at least for a few hours, even if it runs short. Because at that time now I'm dealing with Texas Mike, not being able to make it. So I'm like, we don't have Mike. Peter's leaving early, and then we have like four, pretty solid players. So I'm like, this game's kind of dusty. But I figure if Peter's there and says he's going to play till 6, maybe he stays longer. Who knows? That happens. But as it stands, he stuck to what he said. He left at 6, and then obviously the game broke down. So and Dan busted, so that sucked. So yeah, it was just like a lot of unfortunate events that day that didn't go well. But no one's anyone. If anyone ever does do that, like maliciously, where someone's just like, you know what, I'm up a million, I'm leaving. I mean, they just don't get invited back. Now, obviously, there's a sliding scale. Like, if you're a really bad player and you do that once, you're gonna get another chance. If you're a really good player and you do that, you're just never gonna get invited back.
Joe, what's up, man?
Oh, I had a question for Ryan. When are you bringing that little girl back?
Who's a little girl?
One with the fat ass. Sorry, the little
Come
girl.
on, Joe.
No, the duo. Like the girl and the girl.
What are you talking about?
They
What
like to
girl?
be called little people.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah, she got
Erica.
a fine ass.
Oh, Erica. Oh, I don't know. We'll get her back on soon. Yeah, she's cool.
Hey, Ryan, I noticed. If you can't talk about it, don't even worry about it. What happened with Dwan? What was this controversy with Dwan being blocked or whatever? All that.
I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but we're cool. Like, there's no issue with
Oh,
Juan. Like, we're friends. Like, we hung out today. Like, talked about a bunch of stuff. It's like there's no issue at all. He just had to like defend himself a bit and whatnot on the internet and stuff. But no, I mean, it's just there's when you're building games. Like, first of all, people have to remember that, or people don't have to remember, but I'm just saying that this show, the way we look at it, the way I look at it, is that this is primarily just a private game. And I'm no different than other private game organizers in that I'm organizing the best private game I can. And we just happen to stream it to the internet for everyone to watch. Like, that's kind of like how we designed everything. And that's how we're able to kind of keep that in mind so we can always have like really juicy games that we have, right? If we're thinking about like the show first and viewership and all of that, then like some of these games would look a lot different, and fans would like them, but they wouldn't be sustainable. And so with coming into this week, um, we had lost a handful of people that we thought were going to play a $1 million game. I had about 25, 30 people originally, like 2 months ago, that said they were coming, they were going to play, and we lost a bunch. Same thing happened last year. And I should have saw it coming because it happened last year. But I thought, no, we're good. We'll do 4 days. Right. We come down to the end of it, and it starts looking a little dicier, right? And I got to pull it together. Like, there's a lot of pressure. This is a big moment for me. It's like the biggest week in my career, and the last thing I ever want to do is have it suck, or have a day be canceled, or have the whole week be canceled, or that would be horrible, right? So it's tough, and so I originally I told Tom he was in for 3 days, and then right before the week started, I told him he's in for all 4 because I had lost like one or two other players. Um, the whole time, the plan was always Thursday, Friday would be like the juicier, or as we got closer, Thursday and Friday would be the juicier days. Tuesday, Wednesday would be kind of the days we have some pros in, and Thursday, Friday were more of like the home game, juicy games. Um, but Tom was going to play. He was like the one pro that would get to play the whole week. And um, once the week started, I talked to like a couple other people that were very fun that potentially wanted to play. And, in order to get a game like that with those kind of people, like people that don't always play on streams or don't ever play on streams for some of them, I have to make a game a certain way and I have to cater to them, right? And so if certain people say, hey, um, you know, I'll only play if it's like this and it's this game and it's this many people and this and that, and other people now are playing because this person's playing, then that's just how poker works. It's not different on our stream than in some private game somewhere. You want to get the best game together, you got to listen to the people that lose the most money. It's just how it works. It sucks. If you don't, and you say, nah, fuck that, we don't need this guy, we're going to cater to Tom Dwan and Doug Polk first, well, we might not have a game. Or we're going to have a game like we had on day 2, where the game broke after 4 hours because it's a bunch of pros battling. And, these days, the recreational players don't want to play in a game like that usually. So that's just the reality of how poker works. And, as I realized that we had a chance to get this special game, I told Tom midweek, this is the situation. I'm sorry. I know I told you originally you could play all 4 days, but we have a really sick opportunity to have like a super sick game, and I can't pass that up. So let me see what I can do. But I just want to have that expectation now. We worked through it. We got him in Thursday anyway, even though there was a chance he wasn't going to be in Thursday. And then Thursday night we talked about what our options for Friday as a group, like all the key players in the game. We decided on how many handed we were going to be based on what the important people wanted. The starting lineup, the priority for the alternates, and I said, look, there's a couple extra people that I want to get in. Tom, Brittany, um, there was another guy potentially, and I said, look, let's get everyone in. Like, eventually people are going to leave or bus. Let's just stream 24 hours if we have to. Let's stream till the next day. I know Keating loves that. Let's just play all night. So that was our plan going in, and I know some fans didn't like that because they thought Tom Dwan was blocked. Um, that wasn't the situation. It's just we have to go with the juiciest people first. And, Tom's a famous player. He's a superstar, obviously, so it sounds crazy. But the plan for Thursday, Friday was build the juiciest game, and in order to do that, Tom's not top 6 most juicy, obviously. So we still got him in, which is good. I think it all worked out. But yeah, it's just planning these games isn't as easy and simple as fans want it to be. I don't know if that made sense to anybody, but
Yeah, it makes
That,
sense
that,
quite a bit. I just have one last question. So this new game that you have with Neymar, he's huge in the soccer world, right? And you have a really good lineup. Do you feel like it's gonna get a lot more views? I don't know if anybody has than the $1 million game.
I don't know. It would be sick if it does. I mean, it's probably going to come down to like if Neymar and some of the other people promote it, because I think he will a little bit. But if we can get Neymar to actually like hype it up, if we could get some like Ninja to really hype it up, then I think it could. You know, um, like also if, like let's say Ninja decides he wants to co-stream it and put it on his channel.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah, so we'll
So you're
see.
pretty
I mean,
excited about it though. That's a really good line.
yeah, I've been trying to get a game together like this for 2 years now. So yeah, I am. Um, I love the $1 million game, but part of me enjoys this just as much or more. Like, I mean, the day that Mr. Beast and them showed up was like the coolest thing ever. Just seeing all those guys show up like on time, walk in, like these people I never met before, like Ninja and Ludwig, Mr. Beast, like come to our stage to play. Like it was pretty surreal. So, um, this, I think we have, you could argue even bigger names this time, and it'll be really cool. Just, I mean, seeing Jimmy Butler and Neymar like walk onto our stage, it'll be pretty
It's
sick.
gonna be sick. I think one last player that you should try to invite is either Mr. Beast or Steve will do it and have both of them because they have a beef together. That would be so fucking crazy. That'll break the internet.
Yeah, well, there's a few options that we have. I wish there was even more than 9 seats at a poker table, but we're gonna see what we can do.
Does Carl Anthony Towns play poker? Because that would be amazing having him and Butler at the same
Well,
table.
I don't know, but I do know that he's a paid spokesperson for Global Poker somehow.
Oh, that's right.
Sure,
I
if you know
forgot
that.
about that. That's right.
Yeah, I don't know how
Me
that
neither.
happened, but
Hey, if you could get him and Jimmy at the same, that would be incredible. After Jimmy said how soft he was, and oh my god, that would be incredible.
I'm sorry, Turbo. You have your hand up. I'm gonna leave now so you can talk.
No, it's cool. Like, I just want to say, Ryan, like, making that second day work, like with Peter not really wanting to play, you still gave us a 5.5 hour stream of $1 million cash game. And that's like really awesome to like make that happen. As many people want to say, like, oh, he hit and ran, oh, he left early, the stream was short. It was still like you get a game like that running for like 5 hours, super impressive. And also, like,
thanks.
I don't think Soto's gotten his flowers enough for like how good he was in the booth. Love Soto. He's been a friend of the community, but like he really killed it this week.
He is the
And
best.
you did a great job with all the commentators, like for real. Like I love Tuckman, having him in there, like Soto. You really killed it this week.
Soto, si la P, la botaste aquí. Te fue bien la P.
I just came up here to say that my schedule is clear for Sunday, June 23rd, 50-100 with Neymar. I'll gladly take on the mic for that.
Yeah, it's going to be a big day, huh? You did pretty good
I'm
on the
I'm really
announcement.
hoping I'm really hoping that the Celtics Mavs ends in 6 games because that's the same day as Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So that's a big thing. We have to really hope that the Celtics finish them in 6.
Yeah, if you ask B or Bobby Schmidt, they'll tell you it'll be over in 5. So
No, I said 6.
Yeah, I think the series is going 6. But
Ryan, you're a Celtics
yeah,
fan, yeah?
my dad is. My
You're
dad's from
so you're a
Boston.
Wolves fan.
No, I was this
Okay,
year.
okay, fair enough.
I'm a Sixers fan, really,
What the?
but
Wait a
I
minute, you're jumping all over the place.
I'm from Philly,
No, I'm fucking with you.
but I'm from Philly. My dad's from Boston, but I love Anthony Edwards, and I had some money on Minnesota this year, so I turned into a Minnesota
Yeah,
fan.
fair enough. I love Anthony Edwards too, man. I've been telling guys in this space I think he'll be the best player in the league within 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, he's still got a lot to work on, as we saw in the
Yeah, he
playoffs,
does. Yeah.
yeah,
but
Feldman,
he's on the right
how
path.
was that game that you
Yeah,
went to? Like, didn't you have courtside seats for one of those playoff games?
yeah, for Game 7 of the
That's
Nuggets.
sick.
Yeah, it was cool. It was good. It's fun. It's definitely lucky to be able to do that, and it's like we're just one of those things that you remember for a long time, and that's I care a lot about that. Just having cool memories with friends or family that like lasts a long time.
That's what's life. That's the whole point of life, right? That's the most important thing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah, I
hey,
mean, seeing Joker and Ant Edwards play basketball like 15 feet in front of you is, you can't forget that shit.
yeah. First play of the game, first dead ball of the game. I don't think I got caught on camera, but first dead ball of the game, the ball bounced out of bounds to me, and I caught it and passed it back to KCP. And then like later in the first or second quarter, Towns fell out of bounds and like fell into us, and I had to like grab his arm so that he didn't like fall any further.
And then
So
you were
yeah,
in some
it's
picture
pretty cool.
too. You were in some picture, like was it at the end of the game or something?
Yeah,
Like everyone celebrating, like you were in the
yeah,
you were in the
that was
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, I like that's. I just like having those things just to like commemorate and show that I was there, and
Fuck yeah,
so you can look back on it in like 10 years.
hell yeah.
hey, Ryan, you ever think about? I don't know if this is a thing or even if it be Yeah, you ever think about bringing the stream to Vegas and doing like a Vegas week over the top stream with VIPs from Vegas and stuff like that?
Yeah, one day it might happen. One day we might work something out and be able to do something in Vegas. So that's definitely on our radar.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Right on. Yeah,
You
I'd
should
probably
you
come
should
down.
you should you should hear the way he talks about LA people, Ryan. Jesus Christ.
It's a little rivalry, the battle of the 15, right? Be
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, I'm
Well,
happy. I'm happy
before
everybody is appreciating Soto now. I was, not to toot my own horn, but Soto, when he first came on commentating, I told you guys he was going to be a star. Soto, I think Soto could verify that, man. I said this guy is incredible. It was the game when your card readers were not working right the whole night. This guy had to call the game the whole night with no cars, nothing, and he just murdered it. And I was like, this guy is incredible. I don't know if you remember that night, Ryan.
the one that I played in, was it that the one, the Friday one
Were you playing in that game? I'm not 100. I'm
with like
not
Texas
positive
Mike?
on that. All I know is that the card readers were not working the whole night, and Christian just had to call the game blind the whole night, and he just fucking murdered. I'm like, this guy
Yeah.
is fucking good. Christian remembers. I know he does. He's being very quiet tonight. I don't know why. Maybe
yeah, he dropped down.
his girls. No, it says he's a speaker. He's on a speaker.
Nah, he dropped down.
Oh, okay, that's
I
fine.
sent it if he comes back up.
Oh, okay.
So wait, you're taking credit for
No, no, no,
finding
no. I'm taking
fucking
I'm taking
Soto?
credit
Come
for
on,
just saying for being one of the first
Steve.
ones that saw the talent. He gets all the credit for his talent. What the fuck? I just said I just saying he was. I just saw that he was gonna be great.
Yeah, that was the game, Ryan, where you played, and I think there was no cards the whole night. It was it was
Yeah, it was such a
yeah, it
sick
was a
game
sick
too.
game. But yeah, I think you guys were like showing the cards after and stuff like that. I think Texas Mike was
Yeah.
playing that game too. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was down like 200 and I came back and like won like a couple
Yeah,
thousand.
yeah, it was that game. It was that game. But no, I
Yeah,
appreciate it,
and
B.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, I didn't do shit. I mean, you're the guy that do it. All I did was tweet out, "Hey, this guy's fucking amazing." And I remember you replied, "Okay, Nick, am I hired?" or something to that. Like, it's no, but you're a great commentator, and not to fucking Ryan. I thought it was whatever, not poor judgment, but I was disappointed when like Raver was coming on last night and Soto was leaving, and not to dog on Rave or anything like that, but I think he talks too much for a commentator. I don't know.
Well, come on, B. Whoa.
No. Listen, I'm not trying to listen. I'm just constructive criticism. That's all. Just he's
I
gotten better at
think
it. He's gotten.
everybody
By
did
the way,
great.
he's gotten better at it. He used to talk like way too much, like over the table, like just reading the chat, not letting us hear the table. He's gotten better, but you know.
yo, B, you have no filter, dude. You just
No, I mean I don't have any filter, and that's what
Come on.
I think that's what a lot of people like about me, but some people hate that about me. That that's why you know I've always there's no in between. People love me or hate me. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, B,
just
the hatchet profile picture suits you because you're always tossing them, man. I love it.
no, but I mean I think it's fair. I mean I just I just tell the truth. That's all I try to do. I mean listen, I mean there's Omar. There's a lot of people that can testify. Whether I hate you, love you, I don't care, man. If you're right, I'll tell you you're right. If you're wrong, I'll tell you you're wrong. And I don't know, man. Yeah, Raver's a good dude, man. He's a fucking great dude. No question. I just, sometimes he talks too much. I don't know.
Hey, Ryan, this is a question from the fans. When we gonna see Mr. Chairman on Max Payne Monday again? He's a fan favorite. Is he penciled in anytime soon?
Oops, I was muted. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's scheduled anytime soon. I have to check, but let me see. Chairman. No, I don't think so, but I'm sure. No, he's not scheduled, but I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah, beautiful. Right on. It's always a fun stream. For me personally, I enjoy it when he's on stream. So yeah, Miss Soto banged it out. You put on a hell of a stream once again, Ryan. Mr. Keaton, he's one of Skid Row's favorites here. He's great on the stream. You got the Neymar. Things are things look like they're popping off. Congratulations. You do a fine job. Everybody's always saying great things about you. So yeah, keep it up, man. Looks like you guys are putting on a good product. Everybody likes it. So yeah, it's fun.
Not everyone. There's plenty of people that are haters out there, but
I mean, Ryan, what you're doing for poker is really awesome, especially like bringing Neymar into the stream. Like Brazil's like an emerging poker market, and having Neymar do that, like that's so huge for poker in general. And like I appreciate that. I love seeing the game grow, and what you and Nick do is awesome. Not to get on my knees too much here, but really, you guys do a quality product, and you're out here like slumming it with us on the spaces. So it's really cool.
yeah, no problem. Just no, thanks. I appreciate that. Just enjoying what we're doing and trying to put together kind of like my dream lineups as a fan of like what I want to see, and then just fortunate enough to have the network to be able to make those things happen. So um, yeah, it's a fun job, and when these types of games come together, it's pretty cool to look back on and see.